A 2019 Harvard study revealed something shocking. Students in active, hands-on classrooms scored higher on tests, but actually felt like they learned less than those in passive lectures. The lecture group felt more confident, but the active learning group performed better. You've experienced this trap firsthand if you've ever binged a tutorial series and then stared at a blank screen with no idea where to start. So before we talk about what to do differently, we need to understand why this happens. The answer comes down to one fundamental distinction: studying versus learning, or knowing a map versus driving the car. Imagine you just moved to a new city. Studying is like memorizing a list of street names in that city. You might feel incredibly productive because you've checked off 100 streets, but you're still standing on the sidewalk. Studying is the act of collecting and consuming information. It's a passive process where your job is to simply take in others' knowledge. This knowledge stays near you, in your notes, your bookmarks, your AI prompts, but it doesn't belong to you. You recognize it when you see it, but you don't own it. Learning is when you finally get behind the wheel. At first, you're a novice. You're glued to the GPS, following rigid rules and panicking when there's a detour. You know that a shop exists, but you don't yet understand how the city flows. The transformation to skill happens when you can finally turn off the GPS. You've moved from following step-by-step instructions to navigating based on your own understanding of the roads. Now, when it's rush hour and the main road is blocked, you don't stay stuck in traffic. You deliberately choose a side alley because you understand how the streets connect. You've stopped collecting street names and started connecting the map in your mind. But here's what makes this transformation so difficult. Research shows that learning often feels harder because it demands more cognitive effort, especially during active practice. That 2019 Harvard study wasn't just about test scores. It revealed that our brains mistake fluency, the ease of following a lecture or watching a video, for mastery. When you're actually learning, it feels clunky and maybe even frustrating. This isn't a sign that you're failing. It's the sound of your brain actively constructing meaning. You're no longer letting information sit in a dusty corner of your mind. You're actively connecting it onto what you already know and making sense of the new information combination. That clunkiness is the feeling of turning information into a usable tool. And in 2026, the value of that map has changed fundamentally because of the tools we now have at our fingertips. AI has made information essentially free. Collecting information is like collecting sand at the beach. It's everywhere. Simply filling buckets with sand doesn't give you an advantage. It just leaves you with a lot of heavy buckets. This is why, for adults, we learn better by doing. Problems are the filter. If you try to learn a massive subject like motion graphics, you'll drown in the sand. But when you have a specific problem, like needing to animate a scene for your channel, that purpose filters out the noise. You don't have to learn the entire software. You only need to learn the most useful, functional slice of the skills required to solve that one problem. We struggle to do this because since we were 5, our school systems trained us to believe that success is defined by recognition. The ability to recognize the right answer on a multiple choice test. But the real world doesn't give you a list of options. It gives you messy problems that require solutions. So we mistake the recognizable answer as the ability to solve a problem. Because our brains are so bad at judging our own progress. As that Harvard study proved, we fall into a specific adult learning trap. It feels satisfying when you finish a tutorial or a chapter in a textbook. You've checked the box. Your brain flags it as done. But here is the mechanism most people miss. Studying ends when you close the book. Learning only begins when you open the tool. School conditioned us to believe that recognizing the right answer on a test is the finish line. So when we study as adults, we unconsciously treat it the same way. Consume the information, feel the satisfaction, move on. The transition from recognition to production doesn't feel like the next step. It feels like starting over. And that's why most learning falls apart. Not because we lack the ability, but because we've been trained to stop right before the hard work of learning actually begins. Escaping that school-era template requires more than just effort. It requires a new system for how we interact with the information. To start building that system, we first need to connect the information we've studied. A great tool for this is elaborative interrogation. Just as the name suggests, we need to actively interrogate the information we come across instead of passively reading it. Ask, why is this true? And how does this connect to what I already know? This anchors new information to your previous experience. Let's say you're learning Python and you encounter the concept of a loop. Don't just memorize the syntax. Ask, why would I need this? When have I done something repetitive in real life that this would help solve? Maybe you once had to rename 50 files by hand. That memory becomes the anchor. Now the loop isn't abstract code. It's the tool that can save you an hour of tedious clicking in the future. Once you've anchored new information to what you already know, the next question is, when do you stop studying and start doing? Treat learning resources such as books and videos as a sighting trip. The moment you understand the core logic of how a tool works, stop consuming. Pause the video. Open the software and test things out. That 10 minutes of starting a project, making mistakes, attempting to fix problems, and figuring out what you need to learn next will teach you more than the next 40 minutes of passive watching. Now you've understood and tested the core logic. You're ready to start solving a real-world problem. This is where AI becomes useful, as a private tutor to scaffold your learning. Write down what you already know about a skill and where you'd like to get to, and ask AI to identify what milestones are needed along the way. I was an absolute beginner in Apple Motion, and I wanted to create motion graphics similar to the ones used by the School of Life, one of my favorite channels on YouTube. Even as a beginner in Apple Motion, I didn't start from zero. I have created animation using Procreate. My prompt to AI looked like this. I know how layers and keyframes work in Procreate. Explain how Apple Motion handles this differently using only the tools I need for this specific project. The effects I'm aiming for is similar to this video. Lay your work next to the exemplar, the professional version, and ask AI to help you find where your logic or your steps went wrong. Don't just ask, how do I make this? Also ask, what is the underlying logic causing the gap between the exemplar work and my work? As you complete those first projects, the scaffolding needs to fade. This is the crucial shift from guided learning to independent problem solving. Stop asking AI for the steps. Instead, ask it for a project that's 10% harder than your last one. If you just animated a logo that fades in, ask for a challenge that adds a new element. Give me a project that requires a fade in plus a simple rotation. This fast, constant cycle of production and feedback is how a person who collects information transforms into someone who can actually use it. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with studying. It's a necessary first step. But we have to stop believing that the map is the journey. We need to shift our identity from an archivist of information, someone who feels productive when they've consumed and filed away information, to a practitioner of knowledge, someone who becomes more competent when they can solve increasingly bigger and more impactful problems. The next time you're tempted to watch that 3-hour complete guide for something you want to learn, give yourself the permission to stop at the 20-minute mark. The moment you understand the core concept, Pause the video, open the tool, try things out, fix what broke, and make something slightly better in the next cycle. If this video helps you understand why collecting information won't help you solve real-world problems and gives you ways to transform information to skills, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel and the newsletter. The links are in the description box. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.